The elevator doors slid open on the 47th floor, and there he was, Jasper Hale, the unbreakable king of Hale Tech. His tie loosened like a noose he'd finally slipped, eyes locking onto mine with a desperation that hit like a gut punch. "Antonio," he whispered, voice cracking over the hum of the city below. "I need you to bury this for me, before it buries us both." In that split second, as his hand trembled passing me the envelope sealed with his own blood-smeared thumbprint, I knew my summer internship had just detonated into something that could shatter everything. My career, his empire, and the fragile secret we'd both been dancing around since day one. I'd landed at Hale Tech straight out of NYU. A 22-year-old kid from the Bronx with a poli-sci degree and dreams bigger than the skyline scraping the clouds outside my tiny dorm window. New York chewed up optimists like me for breakfast, but I figured interning at a tech giant like Jasper's, building apps that connected nonprofits to donors, slick and idealistic on the surface, might be my ticket out of scraping by on ramen and rejection emails. The office was a glass and steel cathedral on Manhattan's West Side. All open-plan desks buzzing with coders and hoodies and execs in bespoke suits. The air thick with the scent of overpriced coffee and ambition. I was just another cog. Fetching dry cleaning, formatting slides, the invisible grunt work that made the machine hum. Jasper Hale was the machine's heart. Mid-40s, broad-shouldered with salt and pepper hair that screamed, "I've got my shit together." He was the guy who'd bootstrapped this company from a garage in Brooklyn to a billion-dollar beast. Forbes called him a visionary. The tabloids whispered he was a shark. To me, he was a myth, until the day he crashed into the break room, barking orders at his assistant while I fumbled a stack of reports. Our eyes met over the chaos, and something flickered. Not lust, not yet, just recognition, like two strangers spotting the same scar in a crowd. Started small. He'd pull me into meetings, asking for my take on user privacy ethics, his voice low and intent as if I were the only one in the room who got it. "You're not like the others, Antonio," he'd say, leaning against my desk after hours, the city lights painting golden streaks across his face. "You see the human side." I'd laugh it off, cheeks burning under my dark skin, blaming the fluorescent buzz. But late nights turned into shared takeout. Falafel from that hole in the wall on 9th, stories swapped over greasy wrappers. He talked about his ex-wife, the divorce that left him hollow. I confessed the ache of hiding who I was from my abuela back home, her rosary prayers clashing with my quiet dates in dimly lit bars. We were two gay men in a straight-laced world, orbiting closer without naming the gravity. Then came the task. It was a Thursday in July, humidity clinging like regret, when Jasper summoned me to his corner office. The space was all minimalist cool, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the Hudson's lazy glitter, a single Eames chair like a throne. He paced, sleeves rolled up, revealing forearms etched with faint tattoos from his wilder days. "Sit," he said, not a request. I did, heart hammering like I'd been caught stealing code. "Antonio, this stays between us. No emails, no notes, verbal only." He slid the envelope across the desk, thick and innocuous, but his eyes screamed classified. "It's a donor file, not just any donor. This guy's connected, old money, board influence. But he's got dirt on me. Personal dirt." His voice dipped, raw. "From years ago, a mistake I made when I was your age, scared and stupid. If it leaks, Hale Tech crumbles. And me, I'd lose everything I've built to protect people like us." Like us. The words hung electric. I nodded, palms slick, as he outlined the play. Vet the donor's background, cross-reference with our secure server, flag any blackmail angles. It was above my pay grade, hell, above most VPs, but the trust in his gaze pinned me. "Why me?" I asked, voice barely above the AC's whisper. "Because you get it," he said simply. "You've got fire, kid. And I trust you not to burn me." His hand brushed mine then, lingering a beat too long, and the air thickened with what we'd both ignored. The pull, the possibility. I dove in that weekend, holing up in the empty office with vending machine coffee and a knot in my gut. The file was a Pandora's box. Emails, photos, a grainy scan of a letter Jasper had written in '98, confessing love to a college buddy who'd ghosted him after coming out blew up his world. It was tender, devastating. "I can't pretend anymore, not with you. But if this ends us, know I chose truth over fear." The donor had it somehow leveraged for a fat investment. My job? neutralized it without a trace. As I worked, Jasper hovered, subtle at first, then not. We'd grab beers at the rooftop bar after, the city sprawling like a promise below. One night, under a canopy of stars smudged by light pollution, he cracked. "I was him once," he said, nursing a whiskey neat. "Hiding in plain sight. Lost my best friend because I couldn't say it." His eyes, whiskey warm, found mine. "Don't make my mistakes, Antonio. Life's too short for closets." I leaned in, heart a freight train. Our kiss was inevitable. Soft at first, tasting of hops and hesitation. Then fierce, hands fisting shirts as the world narrowed to us. It wasn't fireworks. It was a dam breaking, years of quiet longing flooding out. We didn't go further. Not then, not ever in ways that crossed lines, but those stolen moments in his office, whispers against skin, built a world where we were just Jasper and Antonio, not CEO and intern. The conflict simmered beneath. Whispers in the break room. Hale's got a favorite. My roommate, a fellow intern named Riley. I'd me funny after spotting Jasper's car idling outside our building. Paranoia crept in. Was I selling out for a shot at more? Or was this real? The way Jasper's laugh lines deepened when I teased him about his ancient flip phone, or how he'd text me memes at 3 a.m. Bridges across the loneliness? Betrayal struck like lightning on a clear day. 2 weeks in, I'd flagged the donor's weak spots. Offshore accounts, a history of homophobic donations masked as family values. Jasper praised me over dim sum. "You're a goddamn wizard." And we celebrated with a walk through Washington Square Park, hands brushing in the crowd. But the next morning, my inbox pinged. An anonymous tip, routed through a ghost server. Attached, screenshots of my notes, time-stamped from my workstation. And a note, "Keep digging, pretty boy, or everyone sees the boss's little love letters." Panic clawed my throat. Someone had hacked me, or worse, planted it. Riley? He'd been nosy, always lingering by my screen. Or maybe the donor's people, sniffing close. I confronted Jasper in the stairwell, voice shaking. "It's out there. Someone knows." His face drained of color. "How much?" "Enough." The envelope's contents, twisted into ammo against us both. Not just the past, the present. Blurry shots from our rooftop beers, angles that screamed affair. He pulled me close, breath ragged against my temple. "We fight this. Together." But the storm hit full force that afternoon. Board meeting, glass walls fogging with tension. Jasper stood at the head, commanding as ever, until the donor, silver-haired Victor Lang, all southern drawl and shark smile, leaned in with a folder. "Jasper, old friend, let's discuss your extracurriculars." The room froze. Whispers rippled like aftershocks. Jasper's eyes flicked to me, across the sea of suits. A silent plea. I slipped out, pulse thundering, racing to the server room. If I could scrub the traces, reroute the logs. Fingers flew over keys, sweat beating. When the door banged open, Riley, smirking, phone in hand. "Told you he'd crack. Lang's paying triple what Haletech offers." Betrayal tasted like bile. My friend. The guy I'd crashed on couches with, sharing stories of crushes and city dreams. Selling us out for a payday. "Why?" I choked. "Survival, man. This city's a jungle." He lunged for the console, but I shoved him back, alarms blaring as security cams whirred to life. The climax unfolded on the rooftop, rain sheeting down like Judgment Day. Jasper burst through the access door, soaked and wild-eyed, spotting me pinned against the ledge by Riley's wild swings. "Antonio!" Thunder cracked as Jasper tackled him, fists flying in a blur of rage and protection. I scrambled up, grabbing a loose pipe, swinging wild until security swarmed, hauling Riley away in cuffs. We collapsed against the HVAC unit, rain mingling with tears, chests heaving. Jasper's hand found mine, slick and sure. "You saved us," he murmured, forehead to mine. "Saved me." But the real storm was inside. Victor's folder spilled secrets. Not just Jasper's youth, but mine. A leaked coming-out email from college, twisted to paint me as the gold-digging intern. Headlines brewed. Tech Titan's toy boy scandal. Haletech's stock ticker blinked red on screens below. In the fallout, Jasper faced the board alone. I offered to quit. "I'll take the hit." But he shut me down fierce. "No. We own this. Together. He went public that night, a raw presser from his office. The envelope's truth, his past loves, our bond. I'm gay, he said, voice steady as steel. And damn proud. HaleTech stands for connection, real ones. If that's not your vision, walk. The room erupted. Reporters, allies, detractors. Victor slunk away exposed. Riley faced charges. Corporate espionage fueled by greed. And me? I stood in the wings, heart swelling with a mix of terror and triumph. Months later, as fall painted Central Park gold, Jasper and I walked its paths. No suits, just hoodies and held hands, unashamed. The scandal faded to footnotes. HaleTech rebounded stronger, with a new initiative for LGBTQ+ creators. My internship morphed into a full-time gig, but more than that, into us. Quiet dinners in his brownstone, mornings tangled in sheets, building a life from the ashes. It wasn't perfect. Whispers lingered, doubts nipped at heels. But in the quiet, when Jasper traced the scar on my knuckle from that rooftop brawl, he'd whisper, "You trusted me when I couldn't trust myself." And I'd know, betrayal breaks, but love rebuilds. In this city of concrete dreams, we'd carved our own human, messy, unbreakable. We weren't saviors or scandals, just two guys who'd chosen truth over fear, one rain-soaked night at a time. And in America's relentless grind, that felt like victory enough.